Hello and welcome to Mega Conference Quiz Bowl. I'm your host, John Webster. Today's game is between Taylor Truman High School and Southgate Anderson High School. The Taylor Truman team is coached by Mike McLean. Truman students, would you please introduce yourselves?
Daniel Green, sophomore.
David Green, sophomore.
Audrey Carrier, senior captain. Jennifer Wyatt, junior.
Thank you. The Southgate Anderson team is coached by Eric Hood. Southgate students, would you please introduce yourselves now?
Andrew Madel, senior.
Brian Smith, senior.
Kyle Schaefer, senior captain.
Shivani Pandya, junior.
Okay, thank you. First quarter of our game consists of 12 toss-up questions worth 10 points each. Teams may not confer. Please wait till I call on you before responding. Okay, here we go. Who is the founder of the Seventh-day Adventists? Okay, time, that's William Miller. On a direct flight over parts of what three countries must one travel to get from Paramaribo to Caracas? Kyle?
Venezuela, Paraguay, and Uruguay.
Incorrect. Okay, time, Suriname, Guyana, and Venezuela. It is believed that the opening of an elephant's skull for the trunk was misinterpreted by the ancient Greeks, leading to the belief in this mythological creature. The most famous was Polyphemus, who was outsmarted by Odysseus. Dan?
Cyclops.
Correct. During the administration of this president, Commodore Perry went to Japan and the United States made the... Kyle?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Incorrect. Made the Gadsden Purchase. Named this Democrat who was elected in 1852. Okay, that's Franklin Pierce. Cappelletti and Montecchi are the Italian names of what two families made famous? Kyle?
Montague and Capulet.
Correct. What Italian city at the head of the Adriatic Sea has historically been ruled by a doge? Kyle?
Florence.
Incorrect. Okay, that's Venice. This 17th century English political philosopher once said, "Knowledge is the perception of the agreement or disagreement of two ideas." Identify this man whose writings inspired our own American Declaration of Independence. Brian?
Locke.
Correct. In 1712, Peter the Great of Russia named what city to be the new capital of Russia? David?
St. Petersburg.
Correct. Okay, math question. Pencils ready? Find the second derivative of the following expression. 4x to the fifth plus 5x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 17x. Kyle?
80x plus 60, excuse me, 80x cubed plus 60x squared plus 12x minus 16.
Correct. Who succeeded Moses as the leader of the nation of Israel? Dan?
Aaron.
Incorrect. Kyle?
Nebuchadnezzar.
No, it was Joshua. Okay, Megawati Sukarnoputri recently said that terrorism is a crime against humanity and vowed that her government will be very serious in fighting it. Sukarnoputri is the president of which country, the world's most populous Muslim country? David?
The Philippines.
Incorrect. Kyle?
Pakistan.
No, it's Indonesia.
Oh.
A series of car bombings have killed several people in which country where the government has been entangled in a civil war with rebel groups for 38 years? Audrey?
Israel.
Incorrect. Kyle?
Sierra Leone.
It's Colombia. Okay, that ends the first quarter. We'll be back in a minute to pick up with the second quarter of our game. Second quarter of the game is about to begin. This round consists of 8 toss-up questions worth 10 points each. A correct answer entitles that team to bonus questions worth 20 points. Teams may confer on the bonuses, but only the captains may give the answers. Okay, here we go with the toss-up. What English king, ruling from 1154 to 1189, was married to Eleanor of Aquitaine and was the great-grandson of William the Conqueror? Kyle?
Edward the Confessor?
Incorrect.
Oh.
Okay, time. That was Henry II. What president was nicknamed his rotundity? David?
Taft.
Incorrect. Kyle?
Teddy Roosevelt?
No, it was John Adams. They hadn't seen Taft at the time, so, you know, it's time Adams
Though.
won.
So,
How many atoms are in a molecule of a simple sugar, such as lactose or glucose? Kyle?
24.
Correct. This bonuses in French dynasties. I'll give you the beginning and ending monarchs of the French dynasty, and you name the dynasty. Charles the Bald and Louis V.
I don't know.
Better say something.
Louis Dynasty.
Incorrect. Up to Truman.
Bourbon.
What?
Bourbon.
Bourbon?
Pardon? Oh, no, I'm sorry, incorrect. It's Carolingian. Okay, back down to Southgate. Hugh
Okay.
and Charles IV.
I don't know.
Tudor.
Oops, wrong country. Truman.
No answer.
Okay, that's the Capetian dynasty. Philip VI and Henry III.
Phoenician.
Incorrect.
Nothing.
No clue.
Okay, that's the Valois dynasty, and Henry IV and Louis XVIII.
Noticing a pattern, we don't know these. Croissant?
Up to Truman.
No clue.
This one is bourbon.
Perfect. What was it?
Just the wrong time.
Yeah.
Okay, another toss-up. This word beginning with the letter V is defined as the technique used by an author to create a fictional character that has real-life human traits. Name this literary term. Audrey?
Personification?
Incorrect. Okay, time. I don't think you heard what I said. Letter V, verisimilitude. Another toss-up. What author and historian wrote a 6-volume historical masterpiece called The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire? Okay, time. Edward Gibbon. Another toss-up. What is the name of the currency used in Australia? Okay, time. It is cleverly called the dollar. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
This American fashion designer originated the American Prairie look as well as the Annie Hall look. Identify this designer whose lines include polo and chaps. Ryan?
Ralph Lauren.
Correct. Here we have 4 quotes for the bonus. I'll give you the quote. You identify the speaker. On June 27th, 1936, he said, "I see 1/3 of a nation ill-housed, ill-clad, ill-nourished."
Franklin Delano Roosevelt?
Correct. Extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice, and let me remind you that moderation in the pursuit of justice is no virtue.
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay, go.
Wilson?
Incorrect. Up to Truman.
No clue.
And I think that was the line that ended the presidential hopes of Barry Goldwater. The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles.
Karl Marx.
Correct. This British leader called Gandhi a half-naked faker.
That's Churchill. Yeah.
Churchill?
Correct.
Good job.
Okay, now the toss-up. This Austrian-born composer wrote only 2 operas in German, Abduction from the Seraglio and The Magic Flute. David?
Mozart.
Correct. And questions about Jane Austen for the bonus. Given a character, you name the book. Mr. Knightley.
Teaching staff, Sense and Sensibility.
Incorrect. Down to Southgate.
I don't even know who that is.
Pride and Prejudice?
No, it's Emma. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Vanity Fair.
Incorrect. Down to
Pride and
Southgate.
Prejudice?
Yes, that's correct. Eleanor Dashwood.
Do you know this? I didn't say it right.
Sense and Sensibility.
Correct. Anne Elliot.
Vanity Fair.
Incorrect. Down to Southgate.
Pass.
That's Persuasion.
Moving on.
Okay, that ends the first half of our game. We'll be back in a minute to pick up the second half.
I'm the huge.
We're back to begin the third quarter of our match. The score after the first half is Southgate Anderson 70 points, Taylor Truman 35 points. And we have substitutes to introduce for both teams. First for Truman.
Megan Brown, Jr.
Okay, thank you. And for Southgate,
Vascot Raju, senior.
despite the fact that your name tag says Andrew. Okay. The third quarter is our lightning round. Each team has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Teams may confer, but only the captains may give the answers. The trailing team, Truman in this case, has his first choice of these topics: artistic movements, victorious military leaders, and constitutional amendments.
Are you sure?
Oh no.
Okay, Audrey, your choice?
I thought of military leaders.
Other than none of the above.
Want to go to John Mason, so such?
Okay, now, what is it?
Art movement.
Artistic movements, okay. With 60 seconds on the clock, supply the artistic movement given a brief description. Here we go. Characterized by soaring ceilings, pointed arches, and flying buttresses.
Gothic.
Bro.
Correct. Characterized by spatial imbalance and elongated figures.
Any clue? No answer.
Okay. Characterized by bold ornamentation and wild colors.
Impressionism.
Incorrect. Characterized by a revival of the Renaissance style in which Greco-Roman art was emulated.
Classicism.
Classicism.
Incorrect. Emphasized nature, emotion, and nationalism.
Impressionism. Impressionism.
Incorrect. Attempted to portray the reality of life without the idealism and emotion of the Romantics.
Realism.
Correct. Tried to capture reality exactly as it appeared to the artist at the moment.
Impressionism.
Correct. 18th century French architectural style that used elaborate and abundant ornamentation. And out of time. We got through 8, and you got 3 correct. So 5 now passed to Southgate with 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Southgate, characterized by spatial imbalance and elongated
Byzantine?
Incorrect. Characterized by bold ornamentation and wild colors.
Dadaism?
Incorrect. Characterized by a revival of the Renaissance style in which Greco-Roman art was emulated.
Artificial?
Incorrect. Emphasized nature, emotion, and nationalism.
Dadaism?
Incorrect. 18th century French architectural style that used elaborate and abundant ornamentation.
Baroque?
Incorrect. Okay, spatial imbalance, elongated figures was mannerism, such as El Greco, late Michelangelo. Bold ornamentation, wild colors is Baroque. The revival of the Renaissance style was not classicism, but neoclassicism. Nature, emotion, nationalism is romanticism. And the French style with elaborate and abundant ornamentation is Rococo. Okay, now Southgate. Victorious military leaders or constitutional amendments?
Constitutional amendments.
Okay. With 60 seconds, I will give you a brief description of a U.S. constitutional amendment, and you give me the number. Okay, here we go. Provides for the direct election of senators.
12?
Incorrect. Separates presidential and vice presidential ballots.
12. 12th or 13th? Go with 12.
Correct. Limits the president to 2 terms in office.
22nd.
Correct. Imposes income tax.
16. 16.
Correct. Gives Washington, D.C. 3 electoral votes.
27, 26. 26.
Incorrect. Freedom of assembly.
First.
Correct. Congressional pay raises layover.
27.
Correct. Abolishes the poll tax.
17. I'm gonna go. Are you sure? Yeah. 17.
Incorrect. Abolishes slavery.
13.
Correct. Prohibits quartering of troops in homes during peacetime.
Fourth.
Incorrect. 2, 3. You got 6 correct, so 4 are now passed to Truman with 30 seconds on the clock. Truman provides for the direct election of senators. Incorrect. Gives Washington, D.C. 3 electoral votes.
Pass.
Abolishes the poll tax.
18.
Incorrect. Prohibits quartering of troops in homes during peacetime.
3.
Correct. Back to Washington, D.C., 3 electoral votes.
22nd.
Incorrect. Back, that one was the 23rd. The direct election of senators is 17, and the poll tax was abolished in the 24th. Okay, that ends the third quarter. We'll be back in a minute to finish up this game. Okay, we're ready to begin the fourth quarter of our match. This round consists of 15 toss-up questions worth 20 points each. Here we go. This Athenian statesman tried to unite the country of Greece under democracy. Name this man who ruled Athens during the building of the Parthenon. Kyle?
Theseus.
Incorrect. And at the beginning of the Peloponnesian War. Okay, that was Pericles. This author came from a prominent British family of scholars. His brother Thomas was an ardent supporter of Charles Darwin. Name this man whose works include Point Counterpoint and Chrome Yellow. Kyle?
Man.
Incorrect. Okay, time probably would have been easier if I'd said one of his works was Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. What is the name of the western Siberian river that drains the land east of the Ural Mountains and flows, Kyle?
Volga.
Incorrect. Flows into the Kara Sea. Okay, time. The Ob, O-B. This singer and songwriter was born in Texas in 1938. Name this man who was backed by his band, The Crickets, on... Brian?
Buddy Holly.
Correct. This French leader was the premier of France at the end of World War I. Name this man who represented France at the peace conference that produced the Treaty of Versailles. Okay, time. That was Georges Clemenceau. What is the name given to words that sound alike and look alike but have completely different meanings? Kyle?
Homophones.
Incorrect. An example of this is the animal, the bull, and a papal bull. Jennifer?
Synonym?
No, it's homonyms. Same name, and that's what they're going for. What was the name of the module landed on the moon by Neil Armstrong? Kyle?
Eagle.
Correct. In physics, what is the name for the property of a wave that is half the distance from wave trough to wave crest? Kyle?
Amplitude.
Correct. This green rock-like substance emits powerful radiation that can only be stopped by... Kyle?
Kryptonite.
Correct. What is the name of the strait that joins Lake Michigan and Lake Huron? Kyle?
Mackinac.
Correct. For what types of paintings is John Constable, creator of the Haywain, best known? Kyle?
Landscape.
Correct. Calculate, ready, the force needed to accelerate a 4-kilogram object at a rate of 20 meters per second squared. Kyle?
80 newtons.
Correct. A filibuster is a long series of speeches designed to delay a vote on legislation. What process? Kyle?
Cloture.
Correct.
7.
Before being appointed to the position of Secretary of Health and Human Services, Tommy Thompson was the governor of which state? Brian?
Georgia.
Incorrect. Okay, time, it's Wisconsin. Which department store chain recently announced solid earnings for the fourth quarter of 2002, boosted by sales of its Land's End division? Kyle?
Sears?
Correct. Okay, that ends the game. We'll be back in a minute for the final score. The final score of today's game is Southgate Anderson High School 310 points and Taylor Truman High School 75 points. Congratulations to both teams. This guarantees now Southgate has won their division and qualifies for state competition this spring. In our next game, Lincoln Park High School will face Romulus High School. Please join us then. This is John Webster saying goodbye for Mega Conference Quiz Ball.